Definitely not written to these two jokers anymore. 3B Video, this is Roger.
Why haven't you checked on evil?
What? Hello? Oh, hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. 3B Video, this is Roger.
Why haven't you checked on evil?
What? What? Hello? Hey, listen, I'm calling the cops. Alright, fuck you, pal. 911.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah. Hey, this is Rottin Roger Demarco over at 3B Video, the one in Brower. I'm having a little bit of trouble with a crank caller. Not necessarily threatening, just odd. I was wondering if you guys could put a trace on that for me.
You want us to trace the call?
Yeah,
No problem.
appreciate it. Fuckers. All right, hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rottin Roger Demarco, and today we're gonna be talking about Brett Simmons' 2014 film, Animal. Oh shit, son. For those of you that don't know about this film, here is your plot synopsis. You got a group of friends on a weekend getaway who are attacked by some unknown animal, and they hold up in a cabin attempting to survive the weekend. That's pretty much it. There's a little bit more to it than that, and we'll get into that in a minute. But first, let's take a look at
Rottin Rogers!
Splatter Facts. We have 8 dead bodies. We have 0 titties. Uh-oh, no titties. We have a random Eve cameo, mutilated wildlife, gratuitous shirtless hiking, sweaty cleavage, a barricading montage, bear mace to the face, the old whistle bait, obligatory unhinged character, multiple side plot secrets, and creature crispin. The methods of death include but are not limited to eaten alive, off screen, gutted, and bashed. Okay, so now on to my overall thoughts of the film, guys. This film was written by Tommy Hudson, and that name might sound familiar if you're a fan of the Never Sleep Again documentary or the His Name Was Jason documentary. And this is just a really fun creature film that I took a complete chance on. I saw it at Walmart back in the day, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna pick this up. What's the worst that can happen when you drop $9.97 on a DVD? And I was pleasantly surprised with this film. It's a Chiller Films original, so at first I was a little apprehensive because Chiller is sort of the lower budget version of Shudder. They put out a lot of independent films. They give a lot of independent filmmakers chances. And you never know when you're gonna find that diamond in the rough. Sometimes you sift through a bunch of bullshit and the movies don't ever deliver. But on a rare occasion, you get a movie like Animal that just blows your mind. It's a standard tale of a bunch of not nature savvy people trekking out into the wilderness and encountering something that they have no idea how to deal with. So you get people getting systematically bumped off because they're morons and they don't know how to handle this situation. But it does have a lot of things in common with Night of the Living Dead, which if you're a longtime fan of this channel, you know that the types of films that I really, really like is the us versus them motif in a horror film. I love when people are barricaded into a house or a building of some sort and they're just fighting off waves upon waves of attackers, whether that's an animal, a bunch of zombies, mutants, aliens, whatever it is. I love that. So this movie delivers big time for me. And this movie's a cut above the rest because it's written very well. And it has some likable characters, it has fun dialogue, and it makes you invest in these characters. And for the younger crowd, you might recognize the character Mandy. I'm gonna butcher this actress's name, Elizabeth Giles from Victorious. She played Jade in Victorious. This was her first horror film, and I gotta say, she kind of does a badass job in this movie. It's nice to see some of these teen actors, these child actors, moving into the horror genre. Even in the 2000s, it's no different from the 70s and 80s. If you're a TV actor and you're looking to make a break into film, what's the easiest genre to get into? Horror. Run around, scream a little bit, cry a little bit, flex your acting muscles. It's the perfect genre to get your foot in the door for filmmaking because there's such a wide variety of emotions that characters go through in horror. She's angry, she's sad, she's scared out of her mind, she's tough, so she gets to flex all of those things. And she does a great job of leading this film. Even though this film is written incredibly well and the characters are likable, there is still room for the tropes. Like the good old ever faithful trope of, I have to pee, so allow me to walk 100 yards in the opposite direction, even though I'm with my girlfriend and she's seen my penis 40 billion fucking times. And the characters even follow a very specific trail and still manage to get lost. And I won't get to see it, cause I'll be in the woods. Blair Witch Project reference, deep cut. The one thing that stands out in this movie is the creature design. This creature is top notch. Big, menacing. It has everything that I want in a creature film. I compare the creature look in this film a lot to the creatures in Feast. I just said creature a bunch of times. It's got a very distinct howl that it does, very reminiscent of the raptors in Jurassic Park. And another thing about this film that is hilarious to me is that it seems whenever someone is getting murdered or eviscerated, 5 minutes after said character is dispatched, people react way too calmly to the fact that a loved one, like a brother or a lover, has just been eviscerated and everyone is just done being sad as soon as they run from point A to point B. And that's not how grief works. That's not how being sad works. That's not how dying works. I've never died yet. I mentioned that it was written by Tommy Hudson. Now, Tommy Hudson is a student of the game. Tommy Hudson knows all about the horror genre. So what he does in this film is he plays with your knowledge of the horror genre. He plays with your knowledge of these tropes. He knows that they know that we know that they know that we know. Burbs reference, deep cut. So what he does is he sets up the scene like a traditional horror film. And he knows that the audience is expecting this very particular thing to happen. So while the audience is looking over here for said action, he comes from over here and fucks your day up. That is amazing. That's not something that you see every day in horror films because most horror films know those tropes, exploit those tropes to a T. Most filmmakers have all of that meta knowledge, but they don't apply it correctly. And this script is top notch with playing with your expectation. Even though this film pulls a Leviathan on you towards the end of the film, and I'm not gonna say what that is if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's not fair, I was almost out. Freddy's Dead reference, deep cut. So in my personal opinion, this movie is 100% popcorn as fuck. Because it's just this claustrophobic creature feature with amazing practical effects. It's written very well and it has a great cast. This is a movie that got overlooked. I'm aware that a direct-to-video horror film titled Animal that was put out by Chiller Films can get passed up, can get overlooked. And that is a travesty because in here, in 3B video, this B movie is the movie. But I suppose I should probably get going because after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them, so why not me, right? Rottin Roger, 3B video.
Listen to me. I don't want you to panic. The call is coming from inside the video store.